recording first. Okay. So we have almost everyone today. Okay. So I'm gonna start. Everyone is here. Good afternoon. Please say hi on your screen chat. All right. I want to make sure you are with me. All right. Great. Okay. Hi. So, according to the news, the west side actually colleges operates. So, this I just talked with Erica. Many people say this year is the worst year in their lives. Me too. This year is the worst life in my life. Okay? So you had a mountain day in the last weekend. Okay, so probably I didn't go there, but this year mountain day was pretty much different from the previous one. So it's very sad. But it's the reality. So everyone wants to have a normalcy, but it's far away. Probably no more normalcy like that. Okay? So probably we have new normalcy. Okay? It has the higher probability in my perspective. Okay? So anyway, we should go. Okay? So in the last time we done exam presentation and corporation simulation practice round 2. Okay. So this time we're gonna start a new chapter. Okay, new chapter. Okay. So this chapter is entry strategy and strategy analysis. So this chapter is very simple. Very simple. It won't be long to talk about this chapter. Okay. So this chapter is basically talking about what markets to be entered, when to enter, or something like that, and entry modes like licensing, franchising, pre-field ventures, and acquisitions, and something like that. That's it. Okay, that's it. Only 2 topics. Okay, 2 topics in this chapter. Done. Okay, so very simple topic. Let's talk about that. All right, I'm going to emphasize at this point teamwork of your job. Okay, so we are going to talk about 3 more chapters, okay? And some discussions. So these discussions, actually your teamwork is necessary. And after these 3 more chapters, exam and presentation, and you focus on your regular competition rounds, simulations. Okay? So think about the presentation and your simulation rounds. Okay? So all of these activities are necessary for good teamwork. Okay, all right. So I just want to emphasize teamwork at this point. And schedule. Okay, 2 more chapters in the next week, and the following week exam 2 and presentation 3. Okay, and actually this presentation day you start your regular competition round 1. Okay, corporation simulations. Okay? So your presentation will be corporation practice round research, what you did, okay, and what worked, okay, and probably your strategy for competition round. That's it. Okay. Then you focus on the presentation only. Competition round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 7 rounds, 6 rounds. That's 6 rounds and final presentation. Then this semester is done. Oh, it's time so okay. So this is schedule. Any question, comment on it? Probably not. Okay. All right, good. And let's start. Okay. So I'm gonna a little bit speedy, okay, in this chapter. And let's start with warm keys. Your warm keys is available. Your warm keys is available on the canvas. Okay. So probably you go canvas and take the keys. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Okay? If everyone is done in 10 minutes, I'm going to start to discuss. So your keys is under the title chapter 13 word keys. Please go ahead. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. No, not chapter 10, it's chapter 15. Where's that? Chapter 15, yes. Chapter 15 word keys, please. Yes, chapter 15 word keys. Right. So it seems that many people done. So anyone needs more time? If there's no one, I'm gonna start. Okay, can I start? Okay, all right. So let's talk about that. Number one, the cost and risk associated with doing business in a foreign country are typically high in an economically advanced and politically stable democratic nation. True or false? Typically, it's high, right? True. Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry. It's a highly, economically advanced and politically. Is it true or false? I'm sorry about that. It's false, right? It's false. Yeah. So cost risk, okay, usually high in a not advanced country, okay, such as think about that, North Korea. The cost and risk very high. Yeah. Yes. Okay. It's false. Okay. So number one is false. Okay. Number two, cost that an early entrant has to bear, but a later entrant can avoid are known as first mover cost. Okay, number two. Who want to discuss this? Number two, it was Joachim? No, Jensen.
No, I want to discuss it, but I figured out what I did wrong. I know it's false because I know this was talking about first mover advantages and disadvantages, and I thought first mover costs was the name, but it's actually pioneering costs. So that's my
That's
bad.
right. That's right. So I understand you. Your point. Okay? Actually, it can be a first mover course. It can be, well, first mover should specifically, specify the cost of first mover, all right? Not just of general early entry. In this textbook, it defines it is the pioneering course. Okay? This textbook defines this one. Cost that early entrant has up to bear to that a later entrant can avoid and notice. But in different contexts, if you say this is the first mover course, probably many people understand it. Okay? People understand it. Okay? So now you have a point. Okay? So you understand your point. So, all right, this is false. Let's move. Number three, large strategic commitments increase strategic flexibility. True or false? It's absolutely false, right? False. Okay. Think about that. You spend a lot of cost in this business, then your strategic flexibility is low, okay? Not increased. Okay? So it's false. Number four, exporting. Okay, so we have some. Okay, we have some when to enter market. So these questions. Okay? So what markets we should enter, when to enter, okay? And how to enter. Okay? These questions are talking about this issue. So first topic. And the next topic is the mode of entrant. The mode of entrant. So number four, exporting. Okay, exporting is what? Just send us. Okay, or send a shipment. New message. What is that? Yes. Exporting is advantageous because it avoids the cost of establishing manufacturing operations in the host country. Yes, because it may help from achieve experience curve and location economies. True or false? Yes, it's true. It's true. Okay, it's true. This is the least expensive entry mode, exporting. Okay, the easiest and the least expensive. Number five, an advantage of turnkey projects. What is a turnkey projects? Anyone? Turnkey projects. What is that?
Turnkey projects are basically you give all the money to a company or a licensing person in charge of making that company, and they build it up from the ground up and then hand you the key to the company when they're done.
Exactly. Okay. So you just pay for it. Okay. Everything is done by your partner, turnkey. All right. So advantages of turnkey project is that the firm that enters into a turnkey deal will have no long-term interest in the foreign country. True or false? This is not the advantage, disadvantage. Okay? Disadvantage. Think about that. Your partner is no long-term interest in your country. Then that's a problem. Okay? So this is an advantage. So to avoid this problem, actually, many companies provide a minor equality issues, okay, to keep the interest of your turnkey partner. Okay? So number 5 is false. Number 6, by its very nature, licensing increases a firm's ability to utilize a coordinated strategy. Is false. It's false. Okay? So licensing is a problem. Okay? Licensing is a contract. So licensing is defined. Licensing is defined, okay, by the contract. So you cannot do something beyond this contract. Okay? So you should follow this contract. You should pay for it. You should use it the way the contract defines. So it is not, okay, not the way a firm's ability to utilize a coordinated strategy, okay? Not increases. Okay. All right, so this is false. Okay. This is false. Okay. You still want? Yes, in the quiz it says it's true, but it was my mistake, so I just corrected it. So it's corrected. All right, so that's why some students want to discuss this. Okay, great, good point. I love it. Yeah. If you didn't raise the issue, I would be disappointed. So number 6 is false. Okay, all right. So number 7, the most typical joint venture is 25-75 venture is false. The most typical one is 50-50. All right. Yes, Jasmine, exactly. 50-50. Okay. Right. Number 8, firms entering a market via wholly owned subsidiary must bear all the costs, risks associated with the venture. True or false? Yes, this is true. So wholly owned subsidiary definitions. Okay. So you set up your own company in the foreign country. Okay. It's all of your responsibility. Okay, cost and risk. Firms pursuing global standardization. Okay, you understand this, right? Global standardization and transnational strategies now tend to prefer joint venture arrangements of wholly owned subsidiaries. True or false? Probably not. Okay, all right. Probably not. So Erica is typing something. For number 9 too. Okay, all right. I'm gonna check it. This is false. Okay, this is false. So actually, global standardization and transnational strategies, firms want more control. Okay, more control in the foreign market. Okay, so more control means wholly owned subsidiaries. My company, so I can control everything. But joint ventures, 50%, 50%, you have partner. Okay, so less control. Then your option should be wholly owned subsidiaries. So this is false. Okay, this is false. Let me check the now. Number 9. Okay. Oh, it says true, but it's false actually. All right, good point. Thank you, Erika. Thank you, Erika. Okay. So it's false. Okay. Number 9 is false. So you understand my point, right? Okay. So more control. In global standardization and transnational strategies, actually they need more control because they want to reduce costs by standardization and they want to combine, okay, reduce cost, increase local responsiveness, and they need more control to do so. So more control means wholly owned subsidy is better, okay, to achieve the more control rather than joint venture arrangements. Okay? Number 10, overpayment for assets of an acquired firm is one recent acquisition. Yes, that's exactly true. Okay? That's exactly true. Actually, overpayments happens a lot in the acquisition markets. Okay? Okay, that's it. Good. So we talked about some general things. Okay? How to enter the market, when to enter the market, okay? Then how. The second topic is the number of the modes of entry, okay? Entry modes of international market. So we talked about several types of entry markets like joint venture, licensing, turnkey, and the wholly owned subsidiaries and the joint ventures and acquisitions. Okay, so we talked about okay, both topics in this chapter. Okay, so any question, comment? So can I move? Say yes. Okay, all right. So let's go to my okay, learning objectives. Okay. So which markets to enter, when to enter, and on what scale, general topics, okay? And different modes to get enter. Okay? Acquisitions, greenfield, joint ventures, licensing, Australia alliances, and some things. Okay? So we will talk about that. Okay? Now we are here. Okay? We are here. All right. Starbucks foreign entry strategy. Starbucks, everyone loves it. Okay, many people loves it. Okay, probably you will. You are. Okay, so this is class activity. So you want to meet team members and discuss these 3 questions. Okay, so I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Okay, so you can meet your team in the breakout rooms. I'm going to create this one. Okay. So we have 3 teams, right? Yes. So now you have your own room to meet your discussions, to meet your classmates. So please go ahead and discuss. I'm going to give you 10 minutes.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
Album type thing, have a whole wall full of music.
.com.
Yes.
This these questions, is it for the closing or opening case?
So open cases, it's a closing case. You have 12 edition, right?
I have 11th edition. You told us to get 11th edition.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, so
Let's
if that's the case, then I've been doing the wrong closing case thing. Because to me, the Starbucks is the opening case in my book.
Okay, but my syllabus says it's a 12 edition. This is our textbook.
Let me find that dang syllabus. I swear. Where is it?
So you missed this one?
Well then if that's, hang on, let me read the, hang on.
Yeah, my syllabus says our textbook is a
12th edition. Yeah, no, I don't know where the heck I got. Well, that means that the last 5 or 6 cases we've done, I've been doing the other case because because you said closing case. I had the 11th, I thought, 11th edition is the right book. And because Starbucks for me is the opening case, which great. I don't forget, because the previous book I had before I got the book was the 10th edition.
Okay, Jason.
Yes.
Can you talk by email after class?
Yeah, I can.
All right. So it's okay. All right. Now, so you're following this class very well. So don't worry about that. Okay. So please focus on this activity. So now you understand that. So you can find your right class activities for future. So
Okay.
let's talk about that with the email. Okay.
All right.
Don't worry.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
All right. All right. Welcome back. Okay. So we'll talk about Starbucks foreign entry strategy. So now your team has discussed these three questions. Okay. So we'll talk about briefly as the summary, the sum up, the what you have discussed. Okay. Then let's move. All right. Number one, Starbucks has become a phenomenon worldwide with more than 24,000 stores. Wow, 24,000 stores. It's a lot. Okay. In 6 countries. Sales are great, even at relatively high price for its product. So high price at its product, that means Starbucks have product differentiation strategy. Okay, probably local responsiveness. Okay, local responsiveness strategy. This can perhaps explain in the United States and also in the international market. But how can Starbucks' success be explained by its foreign market entry in less developed and emerging markets? It's very weird. Product differentiation, but it's foreign market entry in less developed and emerging markets. Okay. All right, team 1, please let us know why. Okay. Please tell us. You have
So basically I talked about in the case and in the discussion back home, which is like an emerging market. I feel like Starbucks established a good joint venture where
so where are you originally from, Joaquin? Can I ask you?
Argentina.
Argentina, right?
Yeah.
So Joaquin is from Argentina. So
So the strategy back home they did was something like a joint venture in which they kept some of the original products from like the American coffee and the products they offer, but they also start offering like different baking food that attracted a lot of customers, and it also had a nice image of the American culture, which attracted like the higher class to these stores.
okay, I see.
So yeah, it was like a 50-50 basically.
Right. So joint ventures. So not joint ventures. The 50%, 50% means coffee and food. That's
Yeah.
what. Okay. So in Argentina, in the coffee shops, so no food is available, only coffee. Is that it?
Sorry, what?
In Argentina, so in the coffee shop, in the coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's mainly coffee usually, and it's interesting because they offer some stuff that is like original food from Argentina, but they also offer like the American coffee with the frappuccino and caramel macchiato and all those, and they portray like a image that people strive to achieve. You know, it's like back home it's like a higher class standards. It's not like for the lower classes.
all right.
That's why it will also explain how, even though the prices are competitive with other coffee shops, they're way higher than normal coffee shops, they can still compete from a differentiation in the product.
Okay. So it is really strange that actually the Starbucks, they just keep their own strategy, own provisions, own food. Okay, provide food. Actually, that strategy is not a pressure for the local responsiveness. Probably yes, it is. Probably yes, it is. The new provision of food, so it gives more value, okay, of Starbucks. Okay? So local responsiveness, that means not just try to follow local culture. Actually, Starbucks creates a new culture in Argentina, providing food, okay, in the coffee shop, and it has successful. It is successful. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Okay. Right. Any other comments? Other teams? So other than providing food, what is a successful factor in less developed emerging markets? Any other ideas?
Yeah, and team 3, we discussed what Joe can kind of mention, how it's like the Western lifestyle image, and how in these markets there's like the group of customers could be big or small, probably mainly on the small side, but it's like a people who like kind of want to show their status or maybe like their wealth by purchasing a Western item or lifestyle kind of thing, because Western lifestyle is all about, you know, getting rich or getting money or something of the sort, it seems like.
Okay, great. All right, great. Okay. So it's a Western style. Western style should improve, not improve. Identify a new, the newness of the coffee shops. Okay, newness of coffee shop provisions. Then it improves the value provided by sellers. Great. Good point. Good point. Any other point? Number 1. Okay, number 2. Do you expect that growth of number of Starbucks stores worldwide will continue in more countries? Or do you expect Starbucks to focus on more stores in the foreign markets in which company already has at least some stores already established? Yeah, this is big strategic decisions. Okay, so please team 2, what should they discuss on these questions?
What we talked about is we felt like they would probably lean towards doing both, because it seems like finding new ventures in different countries is continuing to work. So there's no reason for them to stop doing that, but there's also no reason for them to grow inside the countries that they're in. Case in point, in I believe it's Japan, where they had to go to different regions of. Just China, where they had to go to the different regions of China and establish stores in those areas. I don't see why they still wouldn't be able to do that in other countries while continuing to expand to other countries.
All right, great. Good point. Good point. All right, any deeper point?
I just wanted to add, when I was in Italy, there was only one Starbucks there, and it was in Milan. And Starbucks has had a really hard time trying to get into Italy because of the way that they drink coffee and just like view I don't want to say that like socialization of coffee, but just like the way that they drink it, and like it's usually espresso, and it's just like a totally different way than like us going into Starbucks and like getting a coffee and sitting down. It's just like they get espresso. Like when I went, there was people and you'd see them every day, and they got the same thing, and the people like know each other. Like the person that owns the shop knows the person that's ordering the coffee, so it's just like a totally different atmosphere. So they've really struggled there.
Okay, all right, I see. So even Starbucks, they are successful in the foreign markets. They have, some countries they are struggling to respond local responsiveness, right? Local responsiveness to fulfill the pressure for the local responsiveness. Yes, it makes sense too. So in these questions, there is no solid answer actually, like many other business questions. Okay? In the business world, in the real setting world, there's no answer in any question actually, in my perspective. Okay? Everything can be answered, but no solid answer. Okay? It depends. Okay? That's why we are, talking about these topics. Okay? So if I'm a physicist, mathematicians, or some statisticians, okay, I'm specialized in numbers, so I can do that. But then in that kind of fields, okay, we have solid answers. But in the business, okay, as you imagine, there's no solid answer at all. Okay? In many cases. Okay? So it is very hard to generalize almost everything, almost anything. Okay? All right, let's move. Number 3, with the CEO and drive of the company, okay, stepping down as the company's unquestioned leader, do you expect Starbucks to change its foreign market entry strategy in any way? Okay, team 3. Okay, please tell us what you have discussed. Entry strategy.
Yeah, so we discussed that there really shouldn't be a reason as of right now to change the strategy because it's just been so good for them. He set up a strategy that's brought them from 11 stores to 24,000 and it's become a global business. So we just don't see a need to change it just yet unless, something drastic happens or there's like a very just a different situation that would require it to change. But right now it seems pretty good.
Okay.
And wouldn't need anything big to change.
Okay. It's an entry strategy. So there's no change in the entry strategy because it's successful right now.
Yeah, that's what we were discussing. Unless there's like some situation where it's like you are gonna have to vary it, based on your location to location. There might be small changes here and there. But like an overall change is what we were getting at. Because different communities and will be different.
Yeah. It makes more sense. So
yeah, that's what we meant.
Yeah, it makes more sense. So you need small changes. It depends on the situation in the foreign markets, okay? Each markets, but there's no big, different strategy at this point. But it makes more sense. But business is always should be proactive, okay? Proactive. So when we talk about some different cultures, okay, in different situations, we talked about Italy case, in Argentina case, okay. So Argentina case, okay, it was a success because it created a new culture, okay. So if it was successful by creating a new culture, okay, these managers, okay, in Argentina, they need to think about, okay, creating a different culture, a new culture too. Okay? Then you can expand, you can increase revenues. Okay? So small changes is necessary. Okay? In Milan, it's struggling. Okay? So probably they need to find a way, okay, to quit this struggle. Okay? So these are the change of strategy. So I talked about that. Strategy is always dynamic, not static. Okay, dynamic. Okay? If you are successful, you need to be very proactive to continue these successful situations. Okay? So, what entry strategy probably they use? Okay? Joint ventures and licensing contracts. Okay? They just keep doing this strategy. The entry moves, joint ventures and licensing contracts. Great. Any question, comment on number 3? Anyone want to add up? Okay, great. Great discussions. Your discussions are great. Okay? This is something like analysis. It's something like consultant discussions. Okay? Very professional. If your discussion is more detailed numbers and some arguments, some, the basement, should be a good, perfect, the report. All right, let's move. So, we already talked about that. Decisions to expand globally. Very general questions. Which market, when, which entry move. Okay. This is one topic. And entry moves, exporting, licensing, franchising, joint ventures, new wholly owned subsidiary, and acquiring, greenfield investment, in other words. Okay. Acquiring. So this is a second topic. So first topic and second topic. That's it. Okay. So my summary of the textbook will be very fast. Okay. So if it's too fast, please let me know. Which foreign market should firms enter? Okay. Favorite market, of course, politically stable and free market systems, but it's low risk, low return. Less desired market, politically unstable, and command economies, high risk, high return. Okay. All right. Timing of entry, early or late? Early or late? First move advantages, preempt rivals. Okay. So you set up your own standard in this market. And this late, pioneering cost. Okay. Actually, pioneering cost is early market. Okay. And the market late is your cost is high. Okay. Your cost is high. And what scale? Large commitment or small commitment? Okay. Small commitment is less risky. Okay. Small scale entry has the advantage of allowing a firm to learn about foreign market while simultaneously limiting a firm's exposure to the market. Okay. So we talked about your option perspective, small toe investment and large commitment. Okay. So you can do this, or you can just keep, the small. You just, throw your assets in a large commitment, and then you can very fast to dominate the market too. Okay, this is your choice. All right, right way, no right decisions. No right decisions. Okay? So your decisions, like your simulations. In your simulation, there's no right answer. Okay, no one answer. Your decisions. Okay, your decisions, and you make your decisions to the right one. Okay, in the operations. This is how to work. So your decisions, better decisions. Okay, you're the best guessing decisions, and you make it right in your operations. Okay? This is how business is working. All right, 6 different ways to enter foreign market. Exporting, you know that, right? Send to FedEx. And Turkey project, we talked about that. Okay. Licensing, we talked about that. Okay. Okay. The less movable strategy. Okay. the movable, movable ability. Okay, licensing. Franchising too is a contract. Joint ventures 50%, 50%. Wholly owned subsidiary 100%. Okay, we talked about that. I'm not going to replicate it. So why exporting? Exporting less expensive, the least expensive. Exporting is unattractive, no control. No control in foreign market, anything. Okay. Also can have high transport costs and tariffs. Tariffs, I have many things to talk about it, but I'm not gonna do that in this class. Okay. So turnkey projects, attractive, you just pay for it. Very simple. Okay. And unattractive, the firm has no long-term interest in foreign markets, and not have to operate your company. Okay. So less equity, providing less equity in your company is a good way to motivate the turnkey partner. Okay? And licensing contracts, you pay for it, you use technology or some other things. Okay? All right. Then the firms avoid development costs and risk, but it's still expensive. Okay? Licensing is unattractive because the firm's ability to coordinate strategy moves across country is limited. Okay, so less control is a problem. Franchising is still very close to the licensing. So franchising is attractive, also cost risk is rather than the compared with the less cost and risk. And franchising unattractive, so it inhibits the firm's ability to take profits out of the country, one country, to support competitive attacks in another. Okay, which one would you say is more effective? Early right? Actually, I missed Joaquin's questions. Early entry and late entry, there's no answer. I'm sorry about that. Okay. This is probably my best answer. There's no right answer. Okay, it's probably depends on something, many factors. Okay? But usually first movers and second movers have the best chance to be successful. So first mover, second mover. So second movers has some advantages to be successful in the market because pioneering cost is too high for the first mover. And usually, but it depends a lot of factors. Okay? My answer is okay, Joaquin? It's okay? All right. Okay, great. All right, joint ventures, 50%, 50%. Okay, joint ventures are attractive. It's a still, 50%, 50%, but it's your own company, so it is more control rather than licensing or some other stuff. Okay, joint ventures are unattractive because you may not have tight control. That means you have partners. Okay, so you cannot do your own things. Okay, in the joint ventures. So wholly owned, they give a firm tight control. Okay? But it is expensive. Okay, 100% ownership is expensive. So this table have to compare advantages and disadvantages of 6 different modes. Yeah, 6 different modes. So take it. And how the core competencies influence attributes. The optimal attributes depends on the nature of core competencies. This is one factor. Okay? So technological know-how, okay? Management know-how, okay? It depends. These factors. Okay? All right. Pressure for cost reduction is high. Okay? The firms are more likely to pursue combination exporting or wholly owned subsidies. So exporting means least expensive, and wholly owned subsidies, the highest, the most expensive. But if is successful, and it helps a lot to reduce costs. Okay? And global standardization and transnational strategy. Okay, we talked about this in the warm case. The greenfield acquisition strategy. Build a subsidiary firms and acquisition was acquired or buy the existing company. Which one is better? There's no right answer. But why choose acquisitions? They're quick to execute and preempt their competitors, but it's expensive. Okay, acquisitions. Greenfield expensive too. Yeah. But greenfield is slower to establish. Strategic alliances refer to cooperate agreements between potential and actual competitors. Okay? So strategic alliances is something like making a friend. Okay? So when you say goodbye to friends, there's nothing left. Okay? No obligations. Okay? This is a strategic alliance. Okay? Strategic alliances are attractive because it's not so expensive, but you can cooperate with some companies. Okay? So, but the firms need to be careful not to give away more than it receives. So, a good partner can be a good friend. Okay? So, partner selection is very important for alliance. Okay? All right, then that's it. That's pretty much about this topic. Okay? Then next time, we're going to talk about Chapter 7, Global Production and Supply Chain Management. All right, Global Production and Supply Chain Management. It is about the operation management. Okay, so probably in the operation management class, it talks about very detailed. Okay, but we are going to talk about this one briefly in this class in the international setting. Okay, it's Chapter 17. All right. Any question, comments in this chapter? So we done? So if you don't have question, okay, you are free to go. So please enjoy this weekend, and we're gonna talk about 2 more chapters in the next week. Okay? All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
You did a great job in your discussions. I love it.
Bye.
Bye.